Hi, this is Gizmo First, and today, while we all wait for the next 76 season to drop, I thought I'd take a trip.
Come and get it! The Scorpio is ready!
No, not that kind of trip. Back to a simpler time when games were released, finished, and it was either extremely bad and forgotten in 5 minutes, or idolized and immortalized in the Electronical Hall of Fame, or for
infinity and beyond!
The 90s saw some of the most amazing gaming leaps forward that we have ever seen, and aside from updating graphics, scoring your music in expensive studios with entire orchestras, hiring top-notch actors to carry the storyline, not a lot new and innovative has happened since. Most of what makes us smile in games nowadays was first thought up in those times, and one standout point for me is Donkey Kong Country. The 2D platformer is dead, you probably say. Well, the jury is out on that one, but few games in my long history of gaming have ever come along and surprised me quite as much as this one. You see, when this was touted for release, the Super Nintendo was on its way out. The Atari CD32, one of the world's first 32-bit systems, was already on the market, and the PS1 was due to be released the same year this game was. Now, by today's standards, the graphics look kinda funny, but I remember seeing this gem advertised on Games Master and getting the wrong end of the stick. What's more, most of my friends did as well, as we congregated next day to discuss the last night's episode of the show and that awesome PlayStation game that was on the horizon. We were all shocked to find out, probably via Gaming Magazine, that it was an upcoming SNES released, and Nintendo, despite not having a competitor for the new wave of gaming machines at the time, was still stepping up its own game with their then archaic cartridges with a mere 32 megabytes of storage space for their game on them. Yes, 32 megabytes versus PlayStation 1's CDs weighing in at 700 megabytes per disc. The result was a series which is still going on today, and while not every game broke the mold, the 3 that would be released on the SNES continued to push the system to its graphical limit. But what made the series endure till today? Apart from the graphical cutesies, the gameplay, I guess. It was slick right off the bat, and with there only being one system it was made for at the time, it was designed to use the strengths of that system. The level design, which encouraged constant replays, the soundboard, which, though decidedly MIDI in nature, perfectly reflected the environment you found yourself in, the tag team, one character being better than the other at certain tasks, and the wacky animals you could ride along the way. Each level brought with it a myriad of enemies, platform designs, graphical and atmospheric detail that gave each one its own feel. That was only improved upon in number 2, the best game in the series in my book. The levels were larger, the graphics even better, the bosses got a much needed difficulty buff, and the new Dixie Kong character added a new flair to the mix. If you want to play the classics today, there are any amount of ways to do that. The SNES was recently relaunched as the SNES Mini, which holds in its memory most of the classic SNES library, including Kong 1, 2, and 3. Emulation is a thing, but the legality of the emulators is questionable, and I definitely would not suggest that you might be able, but probably should not indefinitely, maybe even inadvertently look into emulators and ROMs, of which there are aplenty, some offering a decent upscaling. The old adage says that they don't make them like they used to, and while I agree with that statement in principle, I'm not saying that the newer generation of games are worse, far from it. They have taken the idea of level design, environment, and immersion to new levels. Sometimes, however, more is not better, and maybe we still have something to learn from simpler times when you either got things right on release or you bombed. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see me feature another classic game from back in the day, please leave your comments in the comment section below and suggestions. If it rings a bell, I might consider doing something about it. In the meantime, this is Gizmo First. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.